Welcome to Lifecast with Ryan Lee. Happy New Year, my friends. It's 2021, and I just believe that this year can be extraordinary. At the beginning of the year, I actually did a message called 3 Daily Habits to an Extraordinary Year. I almost called it 3 Daily Habits to the Best Year Ever, but you know how speakers get, they try to embellish their titles to make it sound better than it really is. Here's the deal. I don't know if this is going to be your best year ever. I can't guarantee that. But I do think there are some daily habits that you can implement that can lead to an extraordinary year. I fully believe that extraordinary people do consistently what ordinary people do occasionally. And so there are some things that I think that we should create as habits on a daily basis that I believe will lead to an extraordinary life. I know that this can be a really tough time for people, especially when you're trying to change habits or change your life and start a new rhythm and trying to find your flow. I know that can be difficult. Part of the reason it can be difficult is because a lot of the people that are already where we want to be, that have already achieved the goals that we want to see achieved in our own life, they're pretty judgmental. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you're trying to eat healthy, you want to know what keeps you from eating healthy. Healthy eating people, they're so judgmental. I remember when I started drinking like green drinks, those naked drinks or whatever they're called. And I was drinking one, this girl looked at me, she goes, "Ew." I said, "Ew? What are you talking about? I'm the healthiest person in the room right now. What's your deal?" She's like, "Well, it's a lot of sugar. It's a lot of sugar in that." I'm like, "Are you serious? Like more sugar than the strawberry shake I could have gotten from McDonald's? You need to be thanking me. You need to be grateful that I'm even doing this." And then I remember when I started drinking water more. Well, you know what the health snobs started to say to me? "Well, it's not alkaline water, but it's water. Well, it's dirty water." I'm like, you know what? Listen, you just can't please people sometimes, Now, I'm being a little facetious, but I think that sometimes change can be intimidating. And so I think we should take it one day at a time. So I want you to check out this clip from a message I did at the top of the year that I think is going to encourage you. This is the daily habit number 1. And over the next couple of episodes, we will release daily habit number 2 and then 3. So go ahead and check out this clip.
And so I want to give us some daily habits that are going to lead to an extraordinary year. And some of these you might go, "I don't know if I can do that every day." But if you did, I promise you, you'd have a year like you've never had in your entire life, an extraordinary year. The first one is found in Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. It says, "This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread." Give us today our daily bread. When a student wanted to understand what a rabbi's worldview was, they would ask the rabbi this question: "Can you teach us to pray?" Because how a rabbi prayed revealed how they saw the world. So when you want to understand how Jesus saw the world and what was important to him, we have to look at what we now know as the Lord's Prayer. And one of the things that we see in here is this idea of giving us our daily bread. Bread in their context was very provisional. It meant a lot. It was even somewhat political. And notice that he didn't say, "Give me my daily bread." No, us. There was this idea of that, okay, I want to make sure that we all have enough. So here's the first daily habit that I believe will lead you to an extraordinary year. Habit number 1 is this: thank God for what you do have every day. If there was one resolution that I think that would change the world if we all did it, it would be a resolve to be a little bit more content. Just a little bit more that just goes, "God, I thank you for what I already have." And here's the deal. When we do this, what it does is it puts us in a position to say, you know what? If I thank God for what I already have, it actually protects us from greed. It actually protects us from feeling like, oh my gosh, I gotta get more. And when we thank God for what we do have, It gives us an awareness that perhaps there are some other people that maybe don't have enough. So we're waking up on a daily basis going, Lord, I thank you that you've given me enough. And if I have more than enough, Lord, may you put that person in my path so we can all have enough. And if you find yourself watching this message and you go, man, I don't even have enough, you should still thank God every day for what you do have and pray that he puts you in a position to have more than enough to be able to share with others. Can you imagine if we did online shopping, but before we did, we just thanked God before? Just say, God, thank you for what I already have. You know what I love? One of my favorite prayers is found in Proverbs 30, verse 7. It says, 2 things I ask of you, Lord. Do not refuse me before I die. Keep falsehood and lies far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal and so dishonor the name of my God. I believe this is called the wisdom of Agur. I don't know who Agur is, but I think he's pretty wise because he's going, hey, here's the deal. Lord, don't let me get so rich, so wealthy that I actually get to a place in my life where I go, I don't even need you, God. I don't need you anymore. I'm actually fine without you. And don't let me get to a place where I don't have enough to where I feel like I've got to scratch and claw to get more and I never have enough. Don't let me get to either one of those places. Let me tell you the prayer that I pray on a consistent basis. It's, Lord, give me enough resources to fulfill your will in my life. And if the Lord wants me to be a billionaire, Lord, okay, I will carry that cross, okay, if I have to. But it really isn't about a number. It's going, Lord, I want to accomplish your will in my life and whatever resources I need for that to happen, that's what I want to happen in my life. Protect me from poverty. Protect me from being so rich, so wealthy that I don't even think that I need you anymore. Can you imagine what would happen if each and every one of us woke up on a daily basis and said, God, I thank you that you've given me enough. Can you imagine if we walked into our garages and went, thank you that they work and that they have air conditioning in Texas? Can you imagine if we pulled up to our houses and we just went, it's big enough. Got enough beds. Got enough pillows. The couch works. Can you imagine if we did this just a little bit more? Sometimes we can focus on all the things that we don't have, and sometimes we can forget, man, there's so much right in front of us. We go, man, Lord, when we look back, man, you've always provided. And if there's one habit I hope and pray that we implement into our lives on the daily, it would be wake up on a daily basis and say, God, I thank you for what I do have.
Hey, I hope that you enjoyed that clip. I think some takeaways for every one of us today is really taking some inventory in our life for some of the things that we can really be grateful for. I think it's really hard to ruin a grateful person's day because they're constantly looking around for the good. They're constantly looking around for something they can be grateful for. And I think that if you will do that on a daily basis, here's what I believe will happen for most of us. For most of us, I believe this is what will happen. We will discover that we actually have more than enough. And I hope and pray it forces us to look around in our life for those that maybe don't have enough. And we begin to ask ourselves this question: what could I do for somebody else that does not have enough? So yes, every day this year, I want you to wake up and thank God for what you do have. You might have a boss that you can't stand. There's a lot of people in this world who wish they had a boss to not like. So yeah, I want you to be grateful in all of your circumstances. And I want you on a daily basis to make a decision to say, God, I thank you that you have given me enough. That's what I want you to think about today. Hey, I hope that today's episode added value to your life. If it did, hey, why don't you share it with a friend or two, rate it, review it, leave a comment, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.